Hey everyone, welcome to NüVida Let's Talk, episode 6. Today we have a special guest, Emmanuel Adusei. He's been a friend of ours for so long. And not only that, but he's actually a professional athlete, top tier guy, and overall, like just a leader in his community. So we're so happy to have a man like Eman here. I don't know if you want to say hello to the people.
Hi, my name is Emmanuel Adusei. As they said, I am a professional athlete. I've played football in the CFL, at a high competitive rate. Again, I'm in my community. I'm a Christian guy. I'm in the church. I work hard. Jordan mentioned mentor. I'm just an all-around guy that likes to just, share positivity in this world and just be happy and not stress about things that don't matter.
Man of his people, right? And so let's get back into a little bit. We're the man of the people also, because right now we're doing a walk across Canada. We're at 50%. So remember, if you guys donate to us, we're helping everybody get to the goal, right? So back to you, Mando.
Anyways, first, I want to get out of the way, Eman. This new fitness page,
Big Groove.
You know what I mean? Like randomly, I see a Big Groove. We'll add the Instagram page on the video.
Damn right.
But randomly, I see I'm gonna start working out every day. I'm gonna start becoming my top the top person that I can be individually. Like, explain that to us. What made you just do this?
Well, it's okay. So first, let me explain the name Big Groove, and then add the fitness to it. So Big Groove. I was actually given this nickname by some church members of mine in Toronto. And I play the bass guitar, the drums, piano, whatever it is. But the bass guitar is where I like to groove the most. And I believe that's the grooviest instrument there is. And because I love to groove and dance a lot while I'm playing the instrument, they named me Big Groove. So that's been my nickname in their church. It hasn't necessarily been now, but I've had it for quite a bit now. And I didn't want to necessarily put my name in the fitness page, so I just put Big Groove Fitness. And I said, I don't care, I'm going to go with it. I like it. So the reason why I got into the fitness part of the aspect, like coming on social media, Instagram, and also TikTok, it's one, to keep me accountable. I mean, I've played football, since 2008 till 2018. And obviously, football came to an end for me just because of injuries and, unforeseen circumstances. So, after that, I went into a little depression part of my life where I just did all this nonsense things and kind of zoned out from reality and kind of not care for too many things. And I wasn't holding myself accountable health-wise. I was just eating whatever I wanted. Even though I was still training and working out, that was kind of maintaining me, but I was still losing because I was eating how I wanted.
And not to interrupt you, but was it the fact that you took away from football that put you in that mental state, you think?
Yes, 100%. Because it's not that I didn't have in my brain that football was everything for me, but I made it that way.
Was it like the regimen that football gave to you? Like you had to show up, your accountability.
The schedule of how it was, right?
And you said accountability, right? Like when you put Big
100%,
right? Like football was your accountability, right?
100%.
Coaches, you had to show up and actually do something. So
exactly, and that's the thing. So with football, there's always a schedule. University, you're doing 2 full-time jobs, which is school and football. Football is a full-time job. Any sport in university is a full-time sport. So the fact that you have to go through that schedule every day, you're used to that. You're able to stay on a schedule. You have to have a certain amount of sleep, eat properly. You want to play at your best, so you're always watching how you eat. You're always watching your workouts, right? It carries on. You're going to the CFL, and now they're talking about you. Your name is in the news. You're getting bigged up. All the little things, like the day I got drafted, you're having TSN follow you. You're having Air Canada follow you. Like just all these random people following on Twitter, right? It's every little thing comes into it and it bigs up your head. So now football's everything. I want to make sure I'm at my best peak, make sure I'm at my best potential. So now that's kind of gone. You're like, man.
What do I kind of gotta live up for in regards to that, keeping up with that physical, right?
Exactly. And school at the time, I didn't graduate yet. I wasn't in the program. I actually had a passion for it. I lost it. So I finished school and, then I realized, man, I'm just here now. Like, I'm not playing football. I don't need anything necessarily to work hard towards in the health aspect, right? So I was doing my schooling, academics, I was building myself spiritually in my faith, Christianity, right? But when it came to health-wise, I didn't care. I love food. Like, look at me, I love food. So,
me too, bro.
you know what I'm saying? So,
fat boy for life.
exactly. So, that's what was happening, and it kind of fell off. So I'm like, you know what? I've had the dream of doing this all of 2021, but I'm like,
Dream of doing what?
the dream of starting a fitness page, either coaching or doing some training. Like, I want to become a specimen. I know it's in my genes.
Mentoring
You know?
I didn't know that though. I didn't know that was brewing inside of you the whole time.
Hey,
You know what
but
I mean?
that's that personal stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's that personal stuff I kept to myself. But I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, I'm not gonna start something when I know I can't fully commit to it. Because then you're gonna put yourself on social media, and you know, I don't want to become that capper. There's a lot of cappers out there, right? There's many YouTubers start stuff, and then all of a sudden they die off. Why? Because they capped. They were all in the beginning phase of, oh, giddy, I'm in it. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's all nice. But then when it starts to drop down a little bit, because everybody says, okay, you're constant, you're being stagnant.
Yeah.
They can't handle that fact that no one's watching their stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Right. But again, who is it for? For people or for yourself?
It should be for
That's
yourself.
the fitness part. So I'm doing it for myself. But at the end of the day, people who are actually watching and actually encouraging, great. It's gonna be nice to have them, support me along the way.
Get to the mission. Right?
Exactly. The end goal is to be at my best physical, mental, and spiritual health.
Yeah.
Period. And once those three are intact, no one's
unstoppable.
no one.
And I feel like a lot of people complain about like social media, for example. Like they always complain about like, oh,
The bad stuff about it?
is it the bad stuff about it? Is it too much, or are we on it too much? Where like Eman's using it to like keep himself accountable. Like he said,
You do too.
Yeah, like me too, NüVida as well as a team. Like at the end of the day, like using social media as something to empower others, like that's the key to it. Because at the end of the day, like you said, you're not gonna be a heretic. You're not gonna not work out. You're ready to now start a page. You're ready to now prove that you're growing, no matter what, brother.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
And that's huge too. Just to add on to that, like, as much as this is for myself, as much as what you guys do as podcasts and what you do in NüVida, right? It's for this generation, the younger generation, and even the older generation. Everyone's on social media. Everybody's watching everything. At the end of the day, and my fitness page is to help those who have gone through my path. There's many people on Instagram talking about the health page, right? But not every single person out there is going through the same thing as them.
Facts.
Someone could be going through what I'm going through.
Yeah.
I haven't posted that much yet, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
And I'm not just going to talk about my workouts. I'm going to talk about behind the scenes, the reality of what people go through. It's not meant to be some Hollywood film where it's all fully edited and nice. I am going to be doing that, yes, but I'm also going to give the grunt work. They're behind, what I'm actually going through. One thing I actually said I'm going to add to this is that anytime I have junk food, I'm going to post it on there too.
Sure.
Because it's not only about the good stuff. The stuff I struggle with as well. So if I'm eating late at night, I'm going to post that on my story. Like, I struggled, I did this, But tomorrow I'm going to have to do double the work.
I think a lot of us, like, we resonate when we see, like, other people's vices, but they're the same vice you have. But you, like, for a lot of us, it's like, you put that stuff in the back of your mind. It's like, yeah, I eat cheeseburgers or whatever. You know you shouldn't, but it's like, it's okay. But then when you see someone else do it, and it's like, oh, it's bad. So it's like you have to kind of see something. It's like monkey see.
Well, it's like at the end of the day, like we're like living in an era now where like these platforms are giving everyone a voice. You know what I mean? And if your voice is
toxic.
No. If your voice is heard, then it's gonna be like people are gonna start to follow it. You know what I mean? Like if you have something like actual inspiring to say or something that people want to follow or a story, like you said, you're starting from the beginning, right? Like all of us, we're starting from the beginning. But if you're gonna document that process, like, and you can inspire people, then why not?
Exactly.
Right? Like, so that's huge. And I guess I kind of want to dive into that in the sense of like, so your transition from like RMC Titans, the big high school in London, to Carlton. How was that transition? And then how was the transition from Carlton to the CFL?
So are we looking from the football aspect or just like as a student? Or
I'm looking from like an Eman aspect, like you know what I mean, like how did it affect you, like mentally, physically, like you know what I mean, like in that sense.
So let's say from RMC, the high school I went to, Regina Mundi, right? That we all went to. To Carleton University. Now, football was nothing serious to me. Football was not serious to me whatsoever. I was just doing it to have fun, go on the bus rides, chill with the guys, the late nights, the long distance travel with the team.
Red Feather.
Taping. Did it like kind of build up like your social aspect around people? Like you were able to socialize a lot better because of football?
I mean, that helps, but I was always that guy who talked to everybody. But just to go back on that, what I was saying, from, let's say even grade 9, when I first, actually was in the area and I got to know many people in high school, I was that bubbly guy, like you guys know, like I love to dance. I'm always smiling, laughing, got into small little troubles here and there, So I'm stubborn, I'm hard-headed, I'm stubborn, right? But at the same time, like, academics, I was the average, I was never the star academic guy, I was never bad, but I was the average guy when it comes to, like, the mental side of it, of how my academics was. So, when you have also, like, African parents like mine, they're on you for academic, right? But I wasn't necessarily in school at that. Even though I wanted to do something, I'll put it this way. I wanted to do aviation engineering. Yeah. I wanted to go into engineering, aviation, finish college. But I realized I'm not going to be playing football in college. You can't. It's soccer and whatever.
You can't
right?
Excel.
It's only university. So I went with law, right? So the transition from having my close friends and the only people I knew, because remember, when I moved into this area.
Well, how old were you when you came like to Canada?
Buddy.
Yo!
My bad. No, I always thought you moved here. My bad, bro.
I'm dead, bro.
That's a big cut. My bad.
No, we're not cutting this. This is all part of it. That's jokes. That's jokes.
No, to be honest,
no, but Goka's honestly, this is not the first time he's said this. That's why I'm laughing. That's why.
I don't know. It's just the way, like, honestly, I'll say this straight up. Like, it's just the way you hold home so close.
You're damn right.
Like, it's almost like, I don't know, for me, because, like, I went home a lot of time, but, like, I almost hold myself like I'm from there, but I'm not. I only go there.
I'm the same way. And if that's what
so like when did you come to London?
I was born in Toronto.
Yeah.
Topico, right?
Yeah.
And I moved to London when I was 3.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or let's say 4 years old. I moved to London when I was 4 years old. But I've been here since, I left here when I was 17 for university. But yeah, no.
I'll say one story. I remember Eman, Seth Cardi. The first time I met Eman, he came to my class.
First man I met actually.
Sat beside me, sat in Seth Cardi. What was it, grade 8?
Grade 8.
I see Eman coming
That's when I was new to the area.
I looked at Eman, I'm like, all right. Eman looked at me, he goes, okay. And then he sat beside me, gave him a handshake. After that, bro, like, it's been surreal, bro.
Since that day, honestly. So no, yeah, like from high school to university was the mental aspect. It was academics. That's what it was for me. It wasn't necessarily anything else, but because my parents were on me for that. And at the end of the day, you needed to have a certain type of grade to go into university.
Yeah.
Right. I actually took an enriched support program when I went there. It was a program that you don't necessarily need all the university credits to go there, and you are a regular university student. But they had a way where you only needed 3 university credits to get into their program before you merge into the program you want to do. Mm-hmm. So the ESP program, I did it first year, and then second year, even though I did the courses for my law degree, second year was technically, that's what
I called him, right?
I called him. Technically, my second year was my first year, but it's like junior college. It's like things merge. There's a lot to explain. Search it up if you want to.
But
it's for anybody.
Okay.
It's for everybody.
Like, I never knew
the program
it's like kind of figure it out at our level, at a university level,
and then dive into it. It's only for first year.
But so that transition was very heavily academic because like you had to have good grades to get into there. Mm-hmm. Now what about from there to CFL? Because there's no school in there. Like in regards to like there's academics in a different way. You gotta learn the playbook. You gotta learn this. Like explain that transition.
So that transition was rough, and the reason why I say it's rough because all of my university career, I played D-line. I played nose tackle, D3 tech, defensive end. I played all over the D-line, right? And that playbook, honestly, like it's not hard to learn a defensive playbook, even though there's a lot of stunts and all of this. But the hardest playbook to learn is the offensive playbook because there's so many plays. There's so many things, especially as an offensive lineman. There's so many checks you have to do. If you're an offensive lineman, it's not high school, it's not university. It is a part of university. I'm not gonna say that. It's just that the fact that you have to do so many checks, and I've never played O-line my whole life. Yeah. So if
explain a check for those who don't know.
So for example, like let's say I'm playing center. A center, he's gonna call most of the things out, right? So if right now I'm the center, you're my left guard, you're my left tackle, and I have another right guard and right tackle, I'm gonna be like, okay, you got this linebacker, you got that guy, watch him. You got this guy, I'm doing all these checks while I have the ball in my hand getting ready to snap.
So center's
like on the spot, you're being told what to do. I was like, okay.
Exactly. So center's like the leader almost in that.
The center is the leader because he's snapping the ball, he sees everything the most. Okay. He can get his help from I play left guard, right? So he can get his help from me.
Almost in a way.
Yeah, exactly, because they're gonna help you see things that you don't see. But at the end of the day, remember when you get to the line, the defensive can try to move around and try to.
How is that?
That's a war zone, eh?
Question: when that ball snaps, what's your mind go to? Like
my first check.
Okay, so like, give us
So
like,
if once the ball is on the line, I'm on the line looking at my first guy. So if he's lined up on me here, if he's lined up on me here, whoever my read is, that's the first person you're looking at. Don't look at nobody else.
Okay.
Of course, you want to have a good like awareness of what's going on around you, but your main guy is this guy, the guy closest to the quarterback.
Okay, and then what are you doing in that moment?
I'm blocking him.
Okay, and how you hitting him? Like, what's the interaction in that moment?
It's physical. You don't gotta say much. It's physical. It's who is going to be my like I don't want to say the B word, but
So I want to get into that in the sense of like, yo, before that, how do you prepare yourself? Is it like music? Like, how are you getting yourself in that zone?
Game day, or you mean like?
I'm talking about game day. I'm talking about like when you're about to go head to head with someone who's trying to knock you down. A man in front of you is just like, yo, I'm trying to knock you man down.
Oh.
Like what is it?
Game prep is one of the best things for me.
Tell me.
I do it.
Like I love it. Like it's because the game prep is like you've gone through the whole week of practice. You've gone through the whole week of playbooks, the whole week of stretching, mobility, workouts. Everything has been done. Now is the day you're walking in. You have your headphones in, and I love my music. You have your headphones in. You're coming in. You have all the fans watching you. You have all of them on the sides, all trying to get autographs. You know, maybe you'll do 1, 2 because you know you love kids. I mean, I love kids. Right. So I'm walking in. I have my headphones in. I zone in. I come in. First thing I do, I hit the hot tub. I have my headphones in, period. Even though we have music going on, I have my own music. I listen to my gospel music. My hard rap gospel
that's
music.
the gospel music.
That's my gospel music going. It calms me down, you know. And at the end of the day, you choose your music according to the time that's coming to, right?
Yeah.
So you soften out. So after that's done, I want to hit the quotes up. Then I'm stretching. I'm doing all of this. I sit down slowly. After that, I put my team gear on. Like I have something like this, right? You walk on the field. You walk around. I do a prayer. You know, at the end of the day, I pray for myself, make sure I don't get injured, no bones, nothing, you know. Just want to make sure you take care of yourself, make sure everything goes well. Pray for the team, pray for the other team, pray for your enemy, right? And that's a game day enemy. And after that, then it's on. Then it's everybody's in the vibe. Everybody knows what it is. You know, they're all bumping each other in the locker room. They're tapping each other. Everyone is sitting down. Like some people, we have the quiet guys who will sit down like this.
Jeez, just brewing.
Just brewing. Like they have the towel on their head.
How do you feel those scary men?
Yeah, like bro, like the American men don't play around. You know what I'm saying? Like Canadian guys don't play around either. Don't get it twisted. Like, but like you know, the culture of football is like it's war. It's really war. It's on the field war. 60 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Could be longer. What am I saying? But
very long.
but no, honestly, like what after the part I like the most is once like everybody has gone outside for the pregame warm up, right? You know, everyone's outside. We don't have the pads on, but the jerseys are out there chilling and all that, right? We're banging up. We come inside, the music is on. You know what I'm saying? When you get in that vibe, you're just sitting, locking the music, everyone's going on. That's the feeling when everybody's all one.
Jeez. Imagine
it's like what you're looking for in the world, where everybody can just be together and not have so much work going on.
It's like unity.
When you're all one team, when that team chemistry is on, everyone's in there, even the guys who are practice roster, like myself sometimes,
you watch for it, right?
You just vibing and then you get on the field. I showed you guys the video, right? You guys should put it on this podcast. I have the video where we're all about to do the entrance and they have the smoke going on and we're all swaying like this with the thing with our visors on and we're just going, yo, it's a vibe, man.
That's one unit.
It's a vibe, yo.
The idea of like when you have a team, can't beat that. You're unstoppable in a way.
Win or loss, if you come as one, you leave as one. Ain't nothing better.
So yo, what was like one of your it must be so hard, but like one of your biggest football moments, whether that be in the CFL, whether that be Carlton, whether that be like what was one of your biggest like football moments?
Being drafted.
Oh.
Jeez.
How'd that feel?
Who are you with?
That as of right now is still the best. It's better than even dressing. And the reason why I say that is because as a defensive line at Carleton University, I had a decent career there. I'm gonna say decent, just because that's what's been labeled.
He's being humble.
I had a decent career labeled, and you know what? I'll say this: my first, second year, and a bit of my third year, I was soft, and I say soft as in like I was always that bigger guy, so I knew I could body anybody. You know what I'm saying? High school, elementary.
You didn't.
So like there wasn't a challenge, like in the sense of like you never felt like you had to work out because you felt confident enough to.
It's not that I wasn't working out. I was working out because I knew it was gonna get me stronger. I wanted to do that. But in terms of flipping that switch from I'm stronger than everybody around me, or I'm stronger than the people, my opponents, because I know I'm gonna body them or whatever. That's one thing. But I mean, flip the switch to like I'm the dog, I'm the animal.
This is
and
my league.
This is my field,
my
and
balls.
no one is stopping me.
My balls.
That didn't come until like even fourth year.
And
What triggered that?
Well, then
Yeah,
let me
what
let me continue going. Like, so, well, I guess okay. What triggered that was the fact. Okay, well, that's what I'm getting to. So, what triggered that was that in third year, I really got hurt the fact that they didn't choose me for the East West Bowl. So now the East West Bowl third year is when prospects that are people who are that most likely will be part of the draft or be going to the combine.
Yeah.
They kind of have like a mini combine where they have like a whole week of events of like testings and training and. They have all the CFL coaches are there. Sometimes even NFL coaches maybe
Like
there to
showcase
watch.
almost,
A
right?
showcase, right? They have a final game, like an all-star game. And they have a final game on the Saturday or whatever, or the Sunday, whatever day it is. And they only select a few from each university in Canada, right? So the East versus the West. So I wasn't chosen. And I remember this vividly, I'll never forget. We had a morning runs and it was in the basketball court, on the basketball court in the gym. And I remember sitting down and like, okay, we're announcing people. They announced like 6, 7, 8, or 9 guys that were chosen to go to the East West, and I already knew some names that were on there. They knew they were going to go to the CFL, and they knew they were just playing football because they loved the sport, not because they wanted to actually go far with it, right? So, and I know that our coaches have a say. They have some say in who would go.
So there was
Some people choose, some other teams they
Political,
rate you.
yeah, I was gonna say,
It's 100%
I was gonna
politics.
say that. It's a
Some people
politics.
went to the East West, but I feel like they should have put me there, 100%.
Yeah.
And I remember every summer before that, first year, second year, third year, I stayed in Ottawa every
did.
summer
You did.
to train with them. That year, I'm like, you know what? Fourth year, I'm going home. Third year summer, I went home. Or sorry, the year going into fourth year, I went home and I said, nah, I'm going to train myself and do my own thing. I'm not staying here. When they heard that I was going home, because like, this is fourth year, you're like, don't you want to?
No, this is
nah,
your final
y'all
year, right?
disrespected me. Wait till I come back. So I did my thing. When I came back, 5th leading tackler on my team. As a nose tackle, I got triple team like almost every play.
Yeah.
Double team most guaranteed.
Yeah.
5th leading tackler above all linebackers, DBs, whatever position you want to call it. 5th leading tackler. It's a stat. Search it.
Give the numbers.
5th leading tackler.
Right here. So
All right.
Right here.
That's when I became an OUA All-Star that year.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Then I got drafted. Got drafted as defensive lineman to Saskatchewan Roughriders. Over many people who were in the mock draft of becoming first round, second round. Some people didn't even get drafted. I got drafted. And then guess what? They wanted me as an offensive lineman. They're like, nah, you're too athletic, but you're also so strong, and you're a Canadian. We want to pull you on O-line. I'm like, bet.
How'd you feel about
You
that?
put me in a position where there was probably like 40 or 50 other guys who were in that position in the draft and didn't get chosen. What does that say? I never played your position. But
They
I
saw
took that.
the vision.
They saw the vision, and then
Yeah,
in
man.
first year of the CFL as a rookie All-Star in O-line. And I played, 2 games?
Yeah.
Damn. How do you feel about that though? Like
I feel real good. That's something on my chest.
Does it make you
So-
invigorated? Like you're happy about that?
It makes me happy, but it also pisses me off because I didn't really get to continue because of my lower back injury. So like anytime I talk about it, I'm like, damn, like I know where I was. I know where I could have been.
But you didn't finish.
I know for a fact if I really was on my ish, like not that I was always on my ish when I got there, but it got to the point where I was injured.
Yeah.
And I realized like, nah, like when I injured myself, this is when I had the chance to go to this NFL. My agent, Ken Foster, he was in the talks with his agents, his like co-workers, to get me to go to NFL tryouts. But that's when I just got diagnosed with the lower back injury, my spine, so it was cut.
Yeah.
Basically from then it was just dying off.
Yo, ask about that. So like, what happened there? Like, what's that injury?
So I got
You
a
don't talk about it.
So I had a L4, L5 bulge in my disc, my lower back disc. Basically, that's like, you don't want to do nothing like that because if you make it worse, you can be in crutches or a wheelchair. for the rest of
Especially
your life.
like playing a physical sport like football.
Like you're O lineman, you're always in
Yeah.
a squat position.
Yeah.
So when I got that injury, it was in the off season, and it was off season after my first year. So remember, I just got rookie All Star. I saw the nomination, my name was there. I'm part of the rookie All Stars in my. So they make a rookie All Star. What that is basically a starter. There is no second team. There is no third team.
Yeah.
It's a first team of every position.
Yeah.
So I'm part of the O lineman, and like a part of the D line. Like the D lineman, they have a defense and offense of rookie All Stars. I'm pretty sure Tanya Delicate was on it. Like, you know,
Of
my
course,
boy-
of course, something.
you know what I'm saying?
That's a monster
Tony
right
was
there.
on it.
You had to be there.
That kind of thing, right?
But one thing I want to say is like one thing that stayed consistent throughout your whole story is that you said that you had this faith. You know what I mean? You had this like this belief. Like I want you to touch on that. Like throughout the whole process, like how did that ground you?
Well, that was the thing, right? Like at the end of the day, one, I know, like my Christian faith, like everybody has to have hope and faith in something. if you don't have hope in yourself, if you don't have faith in yourself, you might as well not live. You know what I'm saying? Like people, that's one thing that people struggle with a lot. That causes them to like, you know, like people make, like for example, people make jokes about certain things about their life. Yeah. Deep down, when you hear like for someone, you be on the street with someone and someone could just be saying, "Oh well, you know, like man, my parents are divorced. Like what the heck? I have no life." Like those kind of jokes that people say, it's actually coming from a deep root of what they're hurting from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People have to have faith in things. Like no matter how bad something is, there's always a light on the opposite side, right? So even though I have faith to go back. I injured myself. I have faith to go back. I went back in second year. After that injury happened, it was still bad, but I still managed to go back and play my second season, right? I went there. I had faith. My second season, I went through it all, right? So with all that happening, then I went to Ghana. That injury came back again, and I went to go get an MRI and all these things, and that's when they finally told me, "Oh, you have L4, L5, you have arthritis in your spine, and your spine doesn't curve properly."
So that always guided your perspective, though.
100%.
Like even in the sense of like when they told you about the injury, like now we have BigGrooveFitness. Like you know what I mean? Like it's guiding your perspective in the sense of like staying grounded and always doing what you feel like is necessary to do. 100%. And that's what I respect, you know?
Yeah.
I'm hard-headed, right? I'm just like my dad. Like my dad has 3 slipped discs in his back from his work.
But still dancing.
But he's still having
he's still dancing.
My dad had an accident. I showed you a picture of it, right?
Man,
his leg was hanging by a thread of skin.
That was crazy.
His leg, he's still good.
But he's still
that's the faith we have.
That's faith, right? That's really like
that's the faith you have. Like there's so like
it's just, I always explain like this. It's just deeper like than that. Like I always said. I said last podcast. I said humans are the most complicated things that like we're naive to think that we understand ourselves. But like I feel like faith actually it's imprinted in us. It's like part of us. We're like it's needed. You know what I mean? In situations.
I think faith is scary. Not scary. It's as you said, we don't understand ourselves, but there's, as you said, there's faith comes in and that can alter anything. Like you believe enough, you think you can do it enough.
But it's like faith is one of those things where I feel like from a subjective opinion is something that it's like you work on every day, and when you're 65, like you know what, you still work on it.
Like almost a manifestation.
I'm talking. Well, I'm with you in the sense of like for me, it's like a religious thing, right? It's like I'm Catholic, right? So like it's more like that. Like it's like it's something you work on every day because if you're putting that in front of you and you want to strive to be like that good person every day, then you're growing every day. And that's what faith is. I feel. It's
growth,
consistent growth, a journey.
You agree with that?
Like you want to always grow. Yeah. You need to always like. In my faith, me personally, my faith, I grew up in a Christian home. Yeah. My dad's an elder in the church. I'm a deacon.
What's a deacon for like the audience?
So, a deacon is basically like a servant. He's a servant of the church. You know what I'm saying? And he has a title because he's shown that he's a servant. I played instruments my whole life. I'm always someone who's helping at the church. I fit members who are moving or something. Like I'm that guy. I'm helpful. Everything I do is helpful, right? So they want to have you as a deacon because you're really showing that you're basically showcasing yourself. Not necessarily that I'm showing myself, but I stand out from others of how much work I put into the church.
Like you're not exactly. A beacon of light. A deacon is like a
and at the same time, I'm also a leader in the church because all the kids in my church, all the youth in my church, they all know me, right? I'm that person they can talk to all the time. Like that is that kind of. In that sense, right? And that's how I grew up.
Like knowing Eman from time since like Seth Cardi, like elementary school, like he's been consistent with that. His participation in regards to like growing his community and growing like you teach music lesson, bro, to all your youth and shit.
So first thing you said is like the whole mentor. Like that's why I look at you and I see like actually a mentor as a human being, right?
So one last thing, like with mentor and all that, like it's one thing about me is that I'm transparent, right? Like that's another huge thing in our generations now. Like for example, when you grow up, like I want to say all homes, but some people's home, like their parents, like sometimes they don't open up and tell you what they've been through, but they expect you to go through a certain like perfect stages of life. Yeah, you get to don't do this, but they did it themselves. Yeah. So being transparent with the youthful generation now. Like for example, I'm getting married next year, right? But then when you open up to the younger ones with what you're going through, they can actually live your experience. Because when we're of this generation, our parents' time is done. Like they can give you a lot of experience and all that, but right now your younger brothers, your younger brother, your cousins and all that, they're not gonna relate to your parents, but they're gonna relate to you. So if you can't open up, what are you saying? Exactly.
And like I can relate to that in a sense of I feel like I don't know if all older generations, but just coming from my own experience, like a Latino kind of older generation.
Yeah.
You're right. They tell you what to do and they don't kind of like open up in what they did. And I feel like the next generation, like we gotta be more transparent. Like you said, we gotta just be very open with our experiences, and the truth would just guide.
Exactly.
It's I love listening to you because it's like you actually like apply pressure to your life in that way, right? It's like me, as I said to him before, like I kind of struggle with the idea of like faith in a way. Not always, but like I always believe in something.
Yeah.
But sometimes that faith in myself fades away. Right? So like, and I want to ask you, how do you keep that in yourself?
Well, let me show you this. This is where it comes. This is where it gets personal.
Okay.
Right? Again, we're all being transparent, right?
Yeah.
So no one should feel away. Even the audience that watches this. This is just my life. So if you feel away, that sucks. But the thing is this, is that my life, it's who you surround yourself with. They say the people you surround yourself with is who you're really going to become. Or most likely going to become. Not many people surround themselves with gangsters and come out as a doctor. You feel me? Like you feel me?
I know you're being facts.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not lying.
Not many people surround themselves with swimmers and become a flipping football player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Who you wanna become and who you wanna be or who you wanna be like, surround yourself with them. You know what I'm saying?
Is that wifey?
That's the pastor. That's my pastor.
Oh, see, man,
But that's
his
fine.
faith.
I'll call him later. But no, yeah. But no. But honestly, like how I'm able to hold my faith is one the people I surround myself with. I struggle with that because remember I went to university. I've never partied before. Remember high school? I partied what? I remember I went to what's his name? Pablo's birthday party.
Shout out!
I went to Pablo's birthday party. That was a crazy time because I was still shocked with the amount of people there. You know, I'm seeing drinking for the first time, like all of that.
That
like,
was never you.
I didn't even drink. That was not me. My dad dropped me off there. What did he do? He came back at what?
Pick you up an hour later already.
Hey, man's like, yeah, you're done. Come out. One of those, you know, ones like that. That was all part of me. Like, even though my parents didn't give me that freedom to go out there, I'm glad they didn't. But at the same time, the reason why I'm glad they didn't because when I went to university, I got my own freedom. I experienced life for myself, but I was around people I shouldn't have been. And I went through a struggle time because remember, my first year, my dad had the accident, and then my older sister got cancer in the same week. When they pronounced my dad dead, and then my sister got cancer, my life really got into shambles. That's the reason why I actually partied so much. Not because I wanted to, because it was an outlet to get over what I was going through with my family,
Your
right?
faith, yo, that's a crazy.
But my faith still stayed because my church is everywhere in Canada, right? So they had a church there. They're reaching out to me. I neglected them. I didn't pay mind to them. By the end of the day, I came out of it and I got into football. And the fact that I got drafted, that helped me actually propel myself into like, nah, I still have grace. Because God allowed me to get to this. All the things I did in university, traveling this. I remember I was high one time and I drove all the way from Kingston to Ottawa in Leah's car. Bro, I remember that. And I'm like, I've done some dumb things that could have ended me either 6 feet under, in jail, ruined my career, all that. That's grace. God has saved me through so many things. So what keeps me is the fact that I can fail so many times and I come out of something even bigger.
He's always there holding you back.
Think about it. Like, bro, so many people are passing away. You're alive right now. You know what I'm saying? Yep. People are dying, but you're alive right now. Why is that? Because you have a purpose. People have a purpose now, and they're not taking that seriously. And that's what has people going sometimes even mental. Because they're like, what's going on? Many people say, oh, I'm mental, I have this, I have this. Bro, that's things that you're causing for yourself. Just look at your main purpose. Try to find your purpose on earth and attack it. You came into this for a reason. No, you don't just pop out and then die.
Honestly, bro, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? You don't just. But that's what's keeping me at the end of the day. Because I'm like, for me to go through so many things in life, for me to steal, to bully people, to do random drinkings and where I overdo it, like, and come out of it. And I'm still fine. I'm healthy.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
The way I say it is like
that's crazy.
I'm not gonna get too personal in my life, but like I've been through a lot of experiences, obviously, and like the way I look at it is like that was all like it was all. I'd rather it happen when I was young because I feel like now I'm 26 and there's no way in hell that that shit's happening again. You know what I mean? Because like now I'm a man. I'm accountable for my actions. I'm accountable for my words. I'm responsible. I know that I made a lot of different choices. But from this point forward, knowing all this, like you gotta strive to be the best.
That's the thing. Let me
You know what I mean?
let me tap onto that because since I'd say, look, I'll put it this way. I got to CFL. I still party. CFL, like man, I'm in CFL. I have ex-NFL players buying me shots, like spending bands at clubs, doing all of this, right? And I'm younger than at the same time. I'm like, yo, I'm saving my money. What the heck? If they're gonna buy me something, go ahead. Y'all got the bands. Y'all the ones that are getting paid $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10,000 a week. I'm getting paid what, $1,000 a week, please. Send that
Money in my life. Cover my check.
Pay for that. Right, but
Pay
see,
for that.
after my first year CFL, that's when I started partying. The last time I actually truly went to a club, I remember it was Sergio's birthday, and I remember I was with Deshaun, and me and Deshaun cut early. I don't know if you guys remember, it was like 2 years ago. Sergio had a birthday, and we went to some club in London. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go because that's my boy, you know, let me just go, right? But then I'm like, nah, like, I don't feel right here. I don't feel, it's not because I didn't feel right with him, I wanted to be there for him, but at the same time, I'm like, spiritually, I don't feel right here. Like, I'm at that transitioning phase where I'm trying to get out of this life, I can't be here.
Yes, yeah,
Before
remove
that,
yourself.
it was, the funny thing is, and let me tell you why Grace is crazy. When I first got injured, I remember I went to CFL, and then they said, okay, nah, you're cut, something's wrong with you. I didn't tell them my injury. After a few months of waiting, it was Tanaka's birthday, October 4th. The 5th was the Sunday. I remember I was about to get picked up from Toronto because we did this little party and all that in Toronto. And I remember watching the movie, waiting for my parents who were in Toronto, but they were going to pick me up late. So I said, let me just go watch a movie. I was already at the mall. I went to go watch a movie. And I got a text from Coach Jones. What's going on, Emmanuel? We want you back. Come back. This is after a party of drinking and da-da-da-da-da, all of this.
Thought it was over.
That's something so weird.
This man messaged me and is like, yeah, we want you to come back the next day. So they literally, I ran home, packed my stuff, I cut Monday morning.
How do you do that though?
That's the game of, that's politics, that's the game of football. That's the game of being a practice roster, man. That's the game of a person who's never played O-line, but has to learn. So you're technically dispensable.
You're hungry.
You're hungry, 100%. Of course, you're waiting. I waited, 4 months to get called back to go to CFL?
So
Of course, I was training, I was ready. I went back, and that's when I played my second year, and I was better than I was first year, and they were shocked. So they signed me a bigger contract. And I was the third contract of all rookies in that year. You know what I'm saying? There's like, 50 rookies? Third contract. I made that money.
The way I look at it, bro, the way I look at it, like I know you, the way I look at it is the biggest moments of your life haven't even started. And it's crazy to think about because you've been in the CFL. Because I know your drive, I know your hunger, I know who you are, I know your business savvy, I know your relationships, I know your faith. Your biggest moments haven't even started. But like that's crazy. Because you've been walking through the tunnel, you know, with the music and everything, but like your drive is what's gonna take you to that next level, bro.
And this is one thing that I'm still not necessarily battling with, but it's one thing where this applies to everybody's life. And I look at it from a Christian standpoint. Like I said, God has a purpose for you in your life. He brought you onto this earth for a reason. Now, he also gave you that freedom to do whatever you please, to follow him or not. That's your freedom, right?
Yeah.
But me as a Christian person, he has a purpose for my life. I have to seek for it. For you to know your purpose, you have to seek it, right? You have to discern for it, to listen to the right calling that's in your ear, right? So it's either you go the path you want or to go the path God wants. The path that God wants, you will get there a lot faster. You'll be on the right course. If you go your path, he's like, okay, go ahead. At the end of the day, you're still going to end up on the path he wants.
You'll be happy though.
But if you go your route, it's a longer route. And if you go your route, there's a lot more consequences. If you go your route, there's a lot of problems. That's what it is. See, and I'm thinking about it. Maybe football was never my thing. Maybe that was just my own will, his will.
Your long route.
Exactly. Maybe I did my own will. It wasn't his will. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't know. You know, like that's something that God knows. But maybe so many things that people do sometimes, they do it because that's what they want to do. But they never seek for what's actually right for them.
Yeah, like you gotta sit down and kind of just like realize.
Really
like,
think about it.
Because I remember, bro. I remember I used to I used to walk my dog every single day, and I would always like, you know, like they say you could build your consciousness in nature. That's the best way to build your consciousness. I took that like I as a Catholic, I was like praying in nature. You know what I mean? Like that's the best way I'll get the best ideas. So I'm walking, and then there was this moment where it just hit me, and I'm like, yo, like I graduated Queen's University. You know, physical health education, got a degree, cool. You know, not downplaying that, but like, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like now what though? And then it was through walking and praying where I found out it's like, wait a second, like it's right in front of my eyes. You know, sometimes our blessings are right in front of your face.
Right
in front, like so literally, like, you know what I mean? Like,
we're so
like,
blind. We're so blind.
exactly.
We're so blind.
So the fact that it's in front of your face, and like you said, it's like I'm still choosing to like figure it out when it's right in front of me. It's like that's when I sat down and I was just like, yo, wait a second. Like my dad and my uncle, they've been doing renovations for a long time. They've been doing that for a long time,
Yep.
and I've seen them doing it for a long time.
So why am I doing it?
Why am I not doing it? And I've said if all I wanted to do was flip flip houses, invest, and make some good homes for people in the future. And they're doing renovations right in front of me, and I'm here looking for what to do.
Yeah, I want to do this.
So in that moment, I was just like, yo, Simba, we gotta sit here for a bit, bro, because I'm actually like this is clicking now. You know, like work with my dad and my uncle.
Yep.
So that's what I did for 7 months, 8 months,
Okay,
and then now I'm at the point where like I'm doing it, but because like I found that through faith. I found that through consistent figuring out in prayer. And it's not one day, it's not 2 days. It's not only the day where something bad happens to you.
It's every day.
It's every day.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So and it took me years. It took me years. Like I didn't, things didn't make sense for me for years. I was in the same situation where I'm out
That's
there.
what it is, and
I'm out there in uni being just like, you know, being like whoever I want to be.
And that's
like,
the thing, and to add on to that, like with mine, like school, remember, I lost passion for law. So I was over it. I wanted to go into other things. I feel like I had other callings to do, like construction, aviation, like I told you, engineering and all that. But the one thing, again, that we also got to battle with is also the noise, right? And the noise what I call the noise is outsiders, your family sometimes, because again, it's your life. But the outsiders, my parents, they also want me to finish a degree, you know, it's we put money into that. They also, it's their degree as well,
you too, though.
right?
Exactly.
So what I did was I just said, you know what, let me just finish this degree, give it to my parents. Now let me go. They're happy.
That's how I did my
So
story.
now that I did that, now I'm really focusing on
You
myself.
live for
Ain't no one to
yourself
say
now.
nothing to
You
me.
live for yourself here.
Exactly. I'm looking at myself. I live for God.
It's the better thing.
I live for God, but I'm still doing the work here, right? So the thing is that I'm gonna focus on what I truly want to do. I'm gonna seek. I'm gonna discern what I want to do. And the fact that I'm looking at things like I was alone, and I'm not saying I was alone with people because I had all y'all, right? But in my head, I'm like, I need to be alone. I need to really think about things. What do I want to do?
One-on-one.
I did random jobs. You know, I did random jobs to try to feel things out. I still had to make income at the end of the day, right? So I was doing things, and then I got to the point, you know what I did? I prayed, I fasted for a week, and all my answers came to me within 3 days from 3 random different people. And that's where I am right now with this job. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're talking about
Within 1 week, I fasted and prayed for something, and it happened. Why didn't I do that from the jump? Because I was lost.
Yeah.
it's funny because like you gotta get there, you gotta get there.
No,
you know?
but I was lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going off of what I wanted, not off of what I should have been following. So yeah.
No, it's good, brother. It's good. Honestly, bro, the shit you dropped right now, sorry for the ish, but like, you dropped knowledge. Like, I'm walking away from this, me personally happy, just like we had this conversation. Like, honestly, man, anyone who listens to this, I hope they can take away from it. It's like, you're not alone. That's it. As you said, faith is there, grace is there, and overall, if you have family and friends that support you, you're unstoppable.
And I guess like what are your next 3 years like? You know what I mean? Like what are you doing for the next 3 years, brother? Because I know you have a lot of drive. I know there's Big Groove, you know.
So other than Big Groove, you know, my fitness page, that's something that I'm like, I take that as a side thing. Like, it's not my career, but it's something for me. It's something for the just generation to help others, right? I mean, as of right now, there's people messaging and commenting and, you know, DMing me about it, and I'm gonna reply back. I mean, I'm not big like that to just ignore people, but that's the side thing. But like work right now, I'm a telecommunications contractor, so I work for the Coral company that you see right here that I'm wearing, and I do a lot of many different trades. There's welding, there's concrete frame forming, you know, there's grounds, there's conduit work, electrical conduit work that I mentioned. We do a lot of fiber optic electricals, right? So we're cellular towers that you see, we work up that. I don't go up, I'm scared of heights, I don't do heights. But I'm the ground crew and I do that. There's a lot of machining work, like, you know, cranes, forklifts, that kind of stuff. So I do that right now. 3-year plan. I soon to open my own business, do contracting on the side, you know, and I work for somewhere. I mean, I have no pride. Like right now, this summer, I'm looking to do like lawn work, landscaping work, some moving work because I'm getting a truck this week.
Yeah.
So like my own personal truck, right? So I'm gonna have side jobs as I work with this job.
Hustler, you're a hustler. That's
Gotta hustle. Like at the end of the day.
I might need you up in the property, bro, in June.
Okay, you don't get your jobs over.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Like, let's get it going, bro. Like, hey, I'm all about that business. You know what I'm saying? Like, work, business.
Run it up.
Business. Like, I'm not trying to talk anymore. I'm not. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm busy. Like, before, if you look at my life right now, before in the past, let's say 2 years ago, I'm always reaching out to y'all. What are y'all saying? What are you doing? Let's do this, do this.
I don't have time for
and
that.
it's not that I don't have time to chill with y'all. It's the time. It's me now.
Yeah.
Because I did a lot of other people back then. Now it's me now. Like, I gotta focus on me. I have a wifey.
Yeah,
I have a family. I have nieces. Like, I'm trying to create generational wealth.
Yeah.
I gotta do that. My dad's doing that.
So you gotta follow
God, I don't know when God's gonna call my dad to glory to heaven, but I gotta start focusing on myself. That's right now. So I'm at the age 26. I'm too young to be playing around to wait till 30, 40 when then we're struggling. Then what are you doing for your parents? Your parents came from afar, from another country to come and settle here and get you rooted. Someone said something really, if you're not rooted, you're gonna get blown away. If you're not rooted, you're gonna get blown away by the wind. And that's crazy because that's what's gonna happen to a lot of people in this generation. It's not bad to have it. If people are having kids at this generation, it's not bad. But if you're still not rooted financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, you're gonna get blown. You're gonna get blown. And the reason why I say blown, because now you're trying to get into school. That's hard for you to get into now. Why? Because you gotta feed your kids. Now you're trying to focus. You can't focus on yourself. Forget about even having kids. It's now you're stuck in that constant habit of doing bad hobbies.
Yeah.
The bad habits in life now. If you can focus on something good for yourself, or at least good for others, you're a waste of space on earth. That's the sad truth right now. People don't want to hear that.
Yeah,
People,
and the thing is, it's little steps at a time. You know what I mean? It's like it took me like 6 years.
It's so
like you know what I mean? Like you can't expect things so quick. You know, it's every single day, little checkups, little consistent, little trying to get yourself better and better and better. Things will go like this.
Exponential growth. We talk about it.
That's what it is.
Exponential growth. I like that mathematics.
And that's what it is. So it's like you got to put in your work, all your effort, all your intent on that one thing.
You're gonna leave it.
And you're gonna leave it.
Like I said, people like to have fun. I work with someone who works in the same field as me, and he's all about still having fun. I can see it. He can't get away from having fun. He had an opportunity to go make 6 figures. He turned that down. Why? Because he's like, it's just not the right time for me. I just want to do this. I'm like, bro, it's not like he's not privileged either. He's not privileged either.
He just doesn't want it.
He's just all about that fun life. He's making some good money where I am right now. He's been there longer than me, so he's making a little bit more money than me. But he could have been doing some big money. I'm looking like, what?
But you see, you have a different vision, though, right?
That's what it's about.
Right?
Yeah, to each your own.
If you're ambitious, if you have a good vision, you can make it. You can be a camp photographer and make it. Doesn't matter what career path you go. As long as you have that passion, that vision, that drive, that commitment to stay on that one path and not care about the noise of people either bringing you down or trying to interrupt or hinder your growth, bro, you're gonna make it.
And to end off, and the final thing I want to say is, if you'll be surprised how the world works with you once you aim at one specific thing. You'll be surprised how things randomly come in your way, or like, you know what I mean, like how things align because you're focused.
I said to you, I put good energy out recently. Only good energy is coming back, and we'll end it there, right?
Yeah. But no, this has been an amazing episode, yo, and I appreciate having you on, brother.
Honestly, bro, you dropped, like, our fans are, like, even our community, you guys literally got knowledge drops. So, like, we'll see
make sure you follow Eman. We'll make sure to add all his Instagrams.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Here.
2 weeks.
And like, subscribe.
Somewhere here, or here.
Like on YouTube, subscribe, and if you think it's very valuable, share it to your friends, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what we're about is just speaking the truth, you know, not hiding it, and just I hope this resonates with others. And
NüVida, let's talk. Let's talk.
All about physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health right here, buddy.
Peace.